Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. It's December 25th and Merry Christmas to you. I wanted to talk a bit about winter chores in the garden because it's quite a mild winter, so there's a lot of possibilities to work still in the garden. My main project right now is distributing all of this yumminess. I had 15 tons of compost delivered the other day, and my neighbor has been by with some delicious horse manure, so that's wonderful. Without being afraid of actually repeating myself, I want to talk about how I go about building soil in the garden, because that's one of the most important things you can do. I'm not an expert, I'm just sharing my soil building experiments as I go along. And so this compost is something I got from the local landfill. It's made out of garden waste from around the island. So it's a lot more than I can actually make myself, that I have the energy to make myself. But there are some problems with it and some benefits. Of course, the benefit is that I can get 15 tons all at once, and I haven't really worked it, so it's quite easy. But I don't know how strong it is because I didn't make it myself. So that's the downside of it. This time I asked for something that I would call quite hairy, meaning that it hasn't really composted completely, so it's not very fine compost. I did this because it's a lot of work to move, and when it's very compact and very composted, it's heavier and I get really tired. So when I look at this, I think, oh my God, I'm gonna lie down. But I do the way I do it is that I make deals with myself. So I say that I have to take at least 10 wheelbarrows a day, and magically it makes this disappear into the garden. So that's the way I make myself do this. Actually, it's good exercise, and I could get like a lazy cat in winter, but I really don't want to do that, so I enjoy the exercise. On the beautiful days like today, it's actually quite amazing. You see a lot of deer in the field and a lot of wild Canadian geese. We are about 700 meters from a huge nature reserve, so always a lot of wildlife around, and I enjoy that very much. They are having a tea party, talking like that to each other in the fields, and I kind of like that. But anyway, it's a lot sort of lighter to work with, and another benefit, another good thing about that is also that I find that if the compost you put on top is too fine, it can actually, and it's very dry, it's hard for the water, the rain to seep into the soil. And this is very open, and it will allow all the water to seep into the soil. So I'm actually thinking this is a better thing. Another good thing about putting it now is that we will have a lot of rain during the winter time. So if it's too strong, which I don't know, it'll sort of wash out and spread out in the soil, and it will not burn the roots of the plants that I'll be planting in this. So I want to show you how or where I put it. It's not rocket science, but there are a few points I'd like to make. Maybe you can see I've already made like an animal pathway into this, the new fortress in the food, right next to the food forest. So this bit I made this spring, and I've decided to keep on building soil on top of this bit, and it's not you can see it's quite warm still, and it will continue composting as I put it, but not at the same rate, because it will not be able to generate the same amount of heat when it's just in these more shallow layers. But actually, maybe you can see this is just straw from wheat growing this summer, self-seeded wheat, and I'm not weeding this before I put the new layer of compost on top. If it's not smothered by the compost, I can easily pull it up if I need to. But there's no need to do any work here, just add on top. Adding on top, adding on top, adding on top is the way to go. So what you can also see here is this spring I got my hands on a lot of wool, so I had a thick layer of wool on top of what I put that was horse manure and compost like I'm doing now, and then wool on top. Wool has a lot of proteins and minerals, and also about 10% of nitrogen. So this will more slowly decompose and release nitrogen into the soil. And I'm just adding this new layer on top of that. If I can, I might add another layer of wool if I get more this coming spring. I don't know. It's all an experiment to see how the soil reacts, how the plants reacts. So just building and building and building on top. This whole bit of soil is meant for a lot of the annuals in the garden, lots of kales and beans and squash and corn and peas and whatever I can think of. So I'm just gonna fill this, and then it'll be planted sometime around beginning of May probably. Pumpkins also I think is really thriving here. I had quite a good yield this year. So just putting layers of organic material on top of the soil, and I really think it's the best thing you can do, and I enjoy this work in the winter time because it prepares for lots of flowers and fruits and crops and delicious things, and just general fertility and lushness and good exercise. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.